remember it like it was yesterday. With our parents gone, it was just me and my twin brother Logan, alone in the house, but then, in a single moment, he did something so unexpected, so electrifying, it set our world ablaze. A memory so vivid, so intoxicating, I'll never shake it off. It was that damn thrilling. The night started like any other, the kind that whispers secrets in the dark, a rhythm so familiar when you've shared your whole existence with another soul. Our parents were out, the house left in a hush, only the refrigerator's hum or the woods creak under our feet dared to break the silence. But this wasn't our first rodeo. Logan and I had turned these quiet nights into our own little universe, where time stretched, tempting us with endless possibilities. I'm a couple of minutes older than Logan, and despite our different genders, we're mirror images in every other way. I was on the couch, my phone in hand, but my eyes, my mind, were elsewhere. Across from me, Logan lounged in his spot, his arm draped like a king, his gaze flickering between the TV and some unseen thought, pulling me in like gravity. His presence was my air, yet tonight, there was a charge in the air, a shift I couldn't name, but God, I felt it in every lingering look, in every unspoken word. Want to watch a movie? Logan's voice cut through the silence like a knife, his eyes locking onto mine, making my breath hitch. I played it cool, shrugging. Whatever floats your boat. Helpful, he smirked, taking the remote with a slow, deliberate pace, knowing it would drive me up the wall. I grinned at his antics. Take any longer, and I'm picking a rom-com over my dead body, he laughed, the sound echoing like a promise. It was always easy with Logan, our banter, our rhythm, like we were two halves of the same wild heart. But beneath the laughter, there was this undeniable current, this tension, waiting to explode. He settled on an old movie, one we knew by heart, but my focus wasn't on the screen. It was on him, this pull towards the unknown, the unsettlingly familiar. I caught his glance, quick as lightning, yet it sent shockwaves through me. Logan, bold as ever, spoke his mind without a second thought, but tonight, there was a hesitation, a mirror to my own. What? I demanded, the silence too heavy to bear. He shook his head, that faint smile playing on his lips. Nothing. Liar. Okay, maybe something, he confessed, leaning in, the screen's light casting shadows across his face, mirroring mine. You ever think how bizarre it is, being twins? I mean, bizarre how? I was cautious, curious. People think we're the same, right? Sure, I'm a boy, you're a girl, but same face, same thoughts, same everything. But we're not, are we? I nodded, his words stirring something deep within. Logan and I, we were always seen as one, but he was right, we were distinct. He was the fearless one, charging into life while I watched, learning from the sidelines. Yet in moments like this, with his guard down, I saw a vulnerability, a part of him that was mine alone. Maybe it's just simpler for them to see us as one, I murmured, my voice a whisper. It's not like we've shown them otherwise. His gaze on me was heavy, laden with unspoken promises. Maybe we should. That simple statement from him made my heart leap. Before I could respond, he leaned back, his ease betraying none of the storm brewing between us. My mind raced, caught between what was and what could be. The silence grew, thick with words we dared not speak, but Logan, ever the pathfinder, broke through. You're quiet tonight, his voice softer, almost a whisper. What's spinning in that overthinking head of yours? Nothing, I lied, the truth a tangled mess I wasn't ready to unravel. Just tired. He didn't push, but his eyes, they were searching, seeing through me. Then, his knee brushed mine, deliberate, sending a jolt through me. Sure it's nothing, he teased, his voice laced with that challenge that made my heart race. I forced a smile, shrugging. Yeah, sure. The tension was palpable, a silent storm brewing between us, every look, every breath charged with an energy we couldn't deny. As the night unfolded, the distance between us shrank. Logan's laughter filled the room, pulling me back to him, but beneath it all, that tension was there, waiting. And in the quiet, I realized, this was no ordinary night. We were on the cusp of something new, something terrifying, something exhilarating. Logan had always been the loud one, filling every silence with his tales, his laughter, but tonight, there was a new undercurrent. His usual bravado was gone, replaced by something I couldn't quite name. Every brush of our knees, every lingering look, sent thrills through me I was reluctant to admit. "Ever think what life would be like if we weren't twins?" he asked, pulling me back from my thoughts. I blinked, taken aback. "What do you mean?" He shrugged, lounging back. "I don't know, maybe everything would feel different." His words hung heavy, like a mist between us. I wanted to probe, but his tone held back, as if he was unsure himself. "Hard to imagine," I said, my voice catching. "We've always been us."
"Yeah,"
he murmured, his eyes briefly meeting mine before darting away. "Always." That word, so loaded, yet before I could unpack it, he was up. "Want a drink?" "I'm grabbing one." My voice was quiet, almost lost. "Sure." Watching him go, my mind was a whirlwind. Logan, my mirror, my other half, tonight felt like the edge of a precipice, something neither of us could fully grasp. Returning, he handed me a glass, his fingers lingering, setting my skin on fire. Sitting closer now, his thigh against mine, it was a small touch, yet it sent my heart into overdrive. "Why don't we ever talk about the real stuff?" His voice was low, thoughtful. I frowned, puzzled. "What do you mean?" "We're close, right?" "Closer than most, but there's still." "Everyone has their secrets," I said, but the words felt empty. He turned to me, his eyes intense, stripping me bare. "But we're not everyone, Eric. We're us." His words hit like a punch, and I felt my breath catch. He was right, we were different, closer, yet there were lines we hadn't dared to cross. "I guess," I trailed off, uncertain. "You guess?" he smiled, that knowing smile. "That's your answer?" I rolled my eyes, deflecting. "What do you want me to say?" "Something real," he said, his voice soft, his gaze heavy. I turned away, unable to face it, but his presence, his warmth, was undeniable. "Do you ever think about us differently?" My heart skipped, a question loaded with possibility. I looked at him, searching for answers in his unreadable expression. "I don't know what you mean," my voice wavered.
"Yeah,
"You do," he said, firm. "I think you've thought about it, even if you won't admit it." The air was charged, years of something building, now surfacing. I wanted to dismiss it, but every look, every touch, told me otherwise. "What if I have?" My voice was barely a whisper. His eyes widened, then softened, leaning in, his breath on my skin. "Then maybe I'm not the only one." That confession hung between us, a cocktail of fear, excitement, confusion, leaving me breathless. Logan didn't move, giving me space, but his eyes, they were waiting. My heart was racing, the implications terrifying yet exhilarating. With Logan so close, I didn't care about the consequences. "Eric," he whispered, my name a secret shared only between us. "You can always talk to me." His words, gentle, sincere, stripped of all his usual flair, made me tremble. "I know," I whispered, my voice foreign. "It's just complicated." "Complicated doesn't mean bad," he said, leaning back, yet the space felt electric. "Sometimes, it means it's worth exploring." His gaze, so deep, so understanding, made me want to dive in, to not hide anymore. I knew something monumental was about to happen, and I was right. Without thinking, I moved closer, our knees touching with intent. Logan didn't flinch, he tilted his head, his eyes searching for my hesitation. "What are we doing, Logan?" I whispered. I don't know, he admitted, that faint smile playing on his lips. But it doesn't feel wrong, does it? I wanted to deny it, to call it a mistake, but the truth was there, undeniable. It felt right, like this was the moment we'd been building towards, waiting to break free. No, I whispered, the word a confession that hung in the air like a forbidden promise. That was all it took for Logan to close the gap, his breath a warm whisper against my skin. My heart pounded, a wild drumbeat of fear and desire, but when his lips claimed mine, all thoughts vanished, drowned out by the electric sensation of him. The kiss started slow, a tentative dance, both of us exploring this new, uncharted territory. His hand cupped my jaw, fingers tracing lines that sent shivers cascading down my spine. Thinking was impossible, I surrendered to the moment, kissing him back with an intensity that felt like coming home. It wasn't awkward or strange, but natural, as if this was the destiny we'd danced around our entire lives. Logan's touch grew bolder, his kiss deepening, his other hand pulling me closer by the neck, igniting a soft, involuntary gasp from me. He smiled against my lips, the confidence in his touch fueled by my response. When we finally parted, my breaths were shallow, my mind spinning. He stayed close, his forehead against mine, fingers tangled in my hair, eyes searching for answers in mine. You okay? His voice was a calm anchor amidst the storm of our emotions. I nodded, the reality of our actions just beginning to seep through.
Yeah.
I think so. His chuckle was soft, his thumb brushing my jaw, soothing. You think I don't know what to think, I admitted, my voice trembling under the weight of my own admission, but I don't regret it. Good, he said, his smile growing, genuine and unguarded, because I don't either. His words were a balm, grounding me, making Logan feel not just like my twin, but like something more, a magnetic force I'd always been drawn to without realizing. The silence that followed was different, charged with understanding, yet we both knew this was just the beginning. His arm wrapped around me, pulling me close on the couch, his heart beat a steady rhythm under my ear. Do you think this changes everything? I whispered, my voice barely there. Logan looked at me, his gaze deep, making my heart clench. Does it have to? He posed the question like a challenge. I don't know, maybe it already has. His nod was slow, his fingers tracing patterns on my arm, their touch a lifeline in the sea of the unknown. Maybe that's not a bad thing, he mused, his voice hopeful, like he was speaking aloud the words we both feared to acknowledge. His confidence was my anchor, his quiet certainty steadying me. What happens when someone finds out? I blurted, fear slipping through the cracks of my control. He frowned, his touch pausing. No one has to know, Eric. This is ours, no one else gets a say in it. His words sparked a mix of relief and fear within me. I wanted to trust in our secret bubble, but doubt loomed like a shadow. Logan sensed it, his hand cupping my cheek, his thumb a soft brush against my skin. Hey, he whispered, we don't have to figure all this out now. One step at a time, okay? His touch was grounding, his bravery something I'd always admired, and now, something I leaned on. The clock's tick was a reminder of the world outside, but as I glanced at the night sky, it felt distant. We should probably head to bed, I said, my voice lacking any real intent. Probably, he agreed, yet his hand stayed, anchoring me. Reluctantly, we moved, the warmth of his presence leaving a hollow ache. The house was silent as we climbed the stairs, his presence a comforting shadow. At my door, I hesitated, the doorknob a threshold to something new. Logan stood close, his presence sending shivers through me. You okay? He asked, his voice steady. My nod was automatic, but my heart said otherwise.
Yeah.
I don't want this to end. His grip was firm, reassuring. It doesn't have to. His words were a promise, soothing the tension in my chest. I opened the door, stepping in with him close behind, the room charged with an energy that made my skin tingle. He settled into my bed with the ease of routine, yet everything felt new. "Come on," he said, patting the space beside him, "it's just me." But it wasn't just anything, it was Logan, my mirror, my other half, yet now, a discovery in his own right. Sliding beside him, the mattress shifted under our shared weight. He propped himself on an elbow, his eyes meeting mine under the moon's soft glow, shadows playing across his face, mirroring my own. "You're overthinking again," he said, a knowing smile on his lips. "Can you blame me?" My whisper was barely audible. "No," he admitted, his touch on my jaw so gentle it ached. This time, when he kissed me, it was with purpose, a quiet intensity that stole my breath. His hand in my hair, his breath mingling with mine, our heartbeats in sync, time blurred as we lost ourselves, every touch a revelation. What followed was intense, a connection so profound it almost hurt. When we pulled apart, my breath was ragged, my skin alive with his touch. "I'm not going anywhere," he said, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. I believed him, for the first time, truly. Morning light spilled into the room, confusing me until his arm around me brought everything back. Watching him sleep, his features so familiar yet different, my heart squeezed. Logan, more than just my twin, was now something else entirely. His eyes opened, meeting mine, filled with a softness that made my heart ache. "Morning," his voice was rough. "Morning," I whispered back. His touch on my cheek was tender, his question laced with concern. "You okay?" I nodded, though the knot in my chest remained.
Yeah.
"Just trying to figure this out." His smile was simple. "It means we stopped pretending." His words were disarming. "And then what?" "Then we figure it out together," he said, his confidence a bomb. The day moved slowly, our unspoken understanding a silent agreement. Mom's message was a stark reminder of reality, our bubble would burst soon. "They'll be back in a few hours," I said, the silence breaking. Logan's look was unreadable. "And? I don't know. What happens now?" His calm was almost unsettling. "Nothing has to change, Eric, unless we want it to." His words were my peace, though the fear of discovery lingered. As the house filled with life again, we slipped back into our roles, but the secret between us felt larger than ever. Later, finding him on the couch, the tension was palpable. "Couldn't sleep?" "Something like that," he said, his words heavy. When he turned to me, his question made my heart race. "Do you regret it?" "No." "Do you?" His smile was faint. "Never." His hand in mine, his words, "This doesn't have to be complicated," were my anchor. As the night went on, wrapped in his warmth, I knew we'd face whatever came next together. But the question lingered, was this okay? What did you think? Let me know in the comments.